Hi everyone, it's Heidi again. Today we're going to react to Dutch inventions you never knew were Dutch. I'm an American, if you guys didn't know. And honestly, I'm kind of starting to believe that almost nothing was invented in the United States, I swear. I've never been to the Netherlands. I'd really like to go one day, but I just thought that this would be interesting. If you like the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Become a member if you want me to prioritize your comments, and let's do this.
So we have this ongoing joke at the moment that my partner seems to think that nearly everything was created by Dutch people. And I looked into this
true.
because every time he has this ridiculous example of something that I use every single day, and he exclaims that, did you know that that was invented by a Dutch person? I doubt it every single time. And every single time I go to the internet, I find out that he's actually telling the truth. So today I want to make a video about the crazy things that you probably use every single day that you had no idea were invented by the Dutch. Now, before we get into the list, I want to let you guys know that this video is sponsored by Skillshare.
Oh, nice.
Skillshare is an online learning platform for creatives. They have a range of classes on so many topics. I've been using Skillshare for such a long time now, and I always find relevant classes to help me kind of feel like curated specifically for learning, which means there's 1,000 of my subscribers will get a 1-month free trial with Skillshare using the link below in my description. So jump on.
All right, go to her video and go use the link. All right, we're gonna continue though.
So the very first item on my list is the telescope. The funny thing about the telescope is that basically three Dutch people applied for a patent for the technology all within a few weeks of each other, and 2 of them even came from the same village. So it's disputed whether the Dutch person who actually applied for the patent first was in fact the inventor, but nonetheless the other 2 backups were also Dutch. So this was invented back in 1608, and the patent, well, the first guy to apply for one, was called Hans Lippershey. Is that how you pronounce his last name? And not that I use a telescope every single day, but it led to amazing technical advancements and even things like being able to map the stars. So I feel like the fact that it came from a Dutch person is kind of cool. The next thing on the list is also to do with looking in things. It is the microscope. And I had no idea that the microscope was also invented in the Netherlands, in Middelburg. Again, the credit for this one is kind of in dispute.
Where's
but
that?
The first
Middelburg, you know what? I'm not even going to try and Google it because I don't know how to spell it. Do you guys want to let me know what city she's talking about so I can look it up where it is?
2 guys who were actually again, the credit for this one is kind of in dispute by the first 2 guys who were actually inventing a telescope, and whether one of them was actually kind of inventing that technology at the same time. But the guy that holds the real title for the microscope is no, it's not. Anton von Leeuwenhoek. And it was the first time that anyone could see anything up to 200 times its normal size, which was, it blew everything out of the water that existed at that time. So the Dutch also had a really big role to play in the invention of the submarine.
I wish that she had the year that the microscope was also invented. I want to look it up really quickly. 1590. So the microscope was invented before the telescope. Is that right? I mean, in my super tiny Google search, that looks correct. But let me know if I got that wrong, I guess.
So the design of the submarine was actually attributed to an Englishman, but the Dutch physicist Cornelius Drebbel, he was responsible for inventing the first underwater movable vessel. And apparently it was made of wood, and the cover was just like greased up leather. And it had pipes that would bring water down from the surface, and it used oars and flaps for momentum, which just seems crazy to me. I don't think I would want to be one of the people that tested out how waterproof it was and
so true though.
test out how deep it could go when there was just greased up leather between you and the ocean. So he
That would be so claustrophobic. Okay, honestly, looking at that picture and just how she described that, that reminds me of one of the Bible stories that I grew up learning. They built, I don't even remember who it was, boats that just like went underwater. Oh, No, that wasn't Bible. That was Book of Mormon. Jesus Christ. There's a Book of Mormon story where they like build things like very similar to that, and they have to go underwater, and it's been a while. Anybody familiar with that story? According to the Book of Mormon, that was invented way, way, way before that. Anyway, that's another topic. We're gonna keep going.
I was actually working for the English Royal Navy when this all happened, so I guess that was that crossover between the submarine design and the Dutch kind of making that happen. Now, if you've ever had your eyes tested, I know I have, and I'm pretty sure they're almost the same globally, the eye tests that you have.
Okay, I really like this girl because she leaves in her little mistakes. If you guys have noticed, I cut out quite often when I'm speaking, and it's because I do shit like that all the time. That's awesome. She seems pretty down to earth, which I appreciate. Anyway, I thought that was funny.
Have to do the eye test. The eye tests that you have to do. Yes. The eye tests, yes, were invented by a Dutchie. So a Dutch inventor by the name of Herman Snellen is responsible for creating a series of letters that went from large to small, including a red and green stripe to test for color blindness. And he came up with this idea in 1862. So another contribution from a Dutch inventor that is now used globally. Now, something I didn't know was that Philips, the massive tech company who also makes appliances and household things, is Dutch, and I did not know this. And
I didn't
Philips
either.
is obviously responsible for developing a massive array of technology types. I know they're super invested in the health industry and making innovations there. But one of the biggest things that they helped develop and changed the way we consume content was the invention of CDs and DVDs. So the CDs and the DVDs, again, that are used globally and completely changed the way that we were able to share and listen to music and watch movies, was invented in Eindhoven. Like, how crazy is that? It just blows my mind. And some of these inventions are obviously the gateway to so many.
Wait, I want to see if are there subtitles? Can I know?
Invented in Eindhoven.
Eindhoven. Is that right? Let me look it up. Is it in the Netherlands? It is. Oh, subtitles. I forget that they exist sometimes. Okay, very cool. What was the other city? Oh my gosh. I might have to find it later. Okay.
Like, how crazy is that? It just blows my mind. And some of these inventions are obviously the gateway to so many other innovations, like the microscope and everything that we've been able to learn about our own bodies and the world that we live in through a microscope is completely attributed to these Dutch inventors that did it first. So not only are these really key pivotal moments, these are gateways to future inventions. And I just, how did they get all of these Dutch inventors to be making all of this stuff? Like, it just... Now,
I love the way she said that. How did they get all of these Dutch inventors to make all this stuff? That's actually so cute. Oh man, I love that. It is interesting, like, these really are gateway inventions. What's wild to me is that I don't even use CDs or DVDs anymore. Do you guys? I use like online platforms to watch things. We still own some DVDs, but we never ever use them. Anyway, let me know in the comments if you guys still use CDs and DVDs. Are you old school? Anyway, it's just crazy that that's already going out of date. We are really moving. Okay, continuing.
I didn't know this, and I have always wondered what the deal is with Fahrenheit. I don't get it. I'm Australian. We do not use it there. We use Celsius.
Did the Dutch create Fahrenheit and now the Americans are, blamed for it? Oh, I don't know. This should be interesting.
I had no idea that Fahrenheit came from a Dutch person, which seems strange because you don't use it here anymore. It's really only used in America. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
I'm almost positive that America is the only country left that still uses Fahrenheit.
That's on us. I'm over here like, it's the Dutch's fault that we use Fahrenheit. No, not really, I guess. I feel that way about soccer as well. The term soccer came from the England, but we're the only ones who still use it. Speaking of being out of date, Good God.
So the Dutch inventor was actually Polish born. So this is a little bit, is it really Dutch? I'm almost positive he grew up in the Netherlands, but was born in Poland. Daniel Fahrenheit, I believe is what it would kind of sound like in Dutch.
Of course, it would be a last name.
Is the inventor of the thermometer. So this was putting alcohol and mercury and measuring the temperature at which water boiled and at which water froze for the very first time. I don't know who invented Celsius, so if anyone knows that, please comment below. Was it another Dutch person? And if someone could tell me why you guys switched to Celsius then and didn't just keep on going with the Fahrenheit system, that would also be really handy. So this next one is probably something that I use almost every single day. I have a pair of headphones and they are Bluetooth. Bluetooth was invented by a Dutchman. While he was working at Ericsson, Jaap Hartsen thought of the idea of Bluetooth, so wirelessly connecting to another device. And at first I remember Bluetoothing ringtones to other friends while I was at high school. That was my first encounter with Bluetooth. And now it is syncing up devices all over our homes and with other devices internally. So every time I'm in a meeting and I've got my headphones on, I have a Dutchman to thank for that.
Pretty sure I'm using that.
I didn't know either, and now that I have a child, I'm far more familiar with Dutch cartoons and Dutch characters, but Miffy, who I have grown up knowing, was actually Dutch, and she is called Nijntje, which is short for konijntje, which is a rabbit. So I think her name in Dutch makes way more sense than just Miffy, which makes no sense at all, actually.
It's cute, though.
Dick Bruna is the man who thought about Miffy, Nijntje, and we have heaps of her books now in our house. I'm reading them to our daughter. But Miffy is a worldwide character, and there is millions and millions of books and toys and TV series and everything to do with Miffy.
Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to pause so fast, but I'll just make my little comment. So I know that I've seen the little Miffy character, but I am actually not familiar at all. I don't know if a lot of that stuff is sold here in the United States. Maybe I've just missed it, but it is very, very cute. Anyway, that's my history and experience with this little character. That's all.
Is massive. Apparently these picture books started when Dick Bruna would tell stories to his son about a rabbit that they used to see on holidays, and it just grew from there. So thanks again to the Dutchies for inventing something that was, you know, part of my childhood on the other side of the world. Dutchies have invented hundreds of things. This was a list of a few of my favorite things that I really saw a massive amount of value in and how they've changed the way that we live today. The Dutch
those are big ones.
Crazy innovative, and when I was researching this video, I came across a whole range of future technologies that they're looking into. So they have definitely not stopped inventing, they are still going. If anyone wants to see a video about the future innovations that the Netherlands are leading the way in, please give this video a like, let me know in the comments below. And if you have any other crazy objects and things that you know were invented by Dutch people, I want to hear about them. So put them in the comments below as well. I would love to read through and find out some other things that I probably use every single day that were also invented by a Dutch person. I hope you like this video.
Cute.
I will see you in the next one. Bye.
I love that. That would be interesting to know about future inventions. Also, okay, when was this video made? 3 years ago. So I wonder, even from this video to now, you know, what has been invented or what's been progressed, I guess, since then. Pretty cool. When she was talking about Bluetooth, I was thinking about that Denmark immigration video that we reacted to that some of you really did not like. But they talked about, you know, the Viking king that his last name was Bluetooth or something like that. I don't know if that's super accurate or like how those kind of go together. I really have no idea. Maybe I should look that up. But if any of you have insight into that, please let me know. Having her explain a little bit about the thermometer and how that worked was kind of cool too. You know, I don't think I have ever looked into exactly how a thermometer works, especially the very first, you know, thermometer. Kind of cool. Human beings are so wild, so creative, and then we get to benefit from it. It's so cool. Just being able to like record this video and post it online is insane. Just from my living room. Pretty fun stuff. But anyway, thank you for this fun recommendation. I thought it was really cool. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are, and I appreciate you guys. Let me know what else I should be watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.